Hey guys, welcome to You the Boss podcast, episode 25. I'm your host, Pam, and today we're going to be talking about discipline. Now, before you tune me out and say, oh, here we go, another thing telling me how much discipline I don't have and how much I need it, let me give you the definition. As per Google, discipline is to train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. So to have discipline then would mean that it brings you have a routine that brings you success. I've never really liked the concept that discipline is a dirty word or a heavy word. It's almost like, well, for you to do that, you need to have discipline, almost like it's baggage. You know, it doesn't mean anything bad. It just means that you need to do a consistent amount of work in a consistent way for a certain amount of time to get things done. You know, that can look like you need to go to the gym a certain amount of days a week and get a certain kind of workout in and eat a certain way so that you can physically be at a point where you want to be. So that could be a weight, that could be a certain structure of your body. Or discipline could be that you make sure your breakfast is prepped for the following day, every day, Monday through Friday. You want to make sure that you're not spending money on food, but also that you're eating something that is good for you, something you like, and that you made at home. So then, why is discipline seen as such a negative point? It's probably because it means that with discipline, it means you don't stray away from your routine because you know that this is a habit that you want to keep. You know, for example, if you've been to college, you know that you know your schedule ahead of time. So you know that on Wednesdays is the best day for you to, in the middle of the week, make sure you're caught up with homework. If anything is delayed, if there's anything that you can do to start early so that it's not a problem in the future, you know, Wednesday is that day. And your friends are also off that day and they want to go out for brunch. They want to go have mimosas. It's the middle of the day. But you know that if you go to brunch, you're going to have a great time, but you're not going to come back and do work. You know that you're either going to want to keep partying or you're going to come back and go to sleep because you're exhausted from brunch. So in this case, you have to have the discipline to say, you know what, I'm not going to fall behind. I'm going to keep this boundary that on Wednesdays, I catch up on my work or I get ahead of my work because my workload is whatever it is and I need to make sure that my things get done. I know at this point you're probably thinking, okay, Pam, but so what? So what? What about discipline? The reason that I'm bringing this topic up is because I want you to ask yourself, what is discipline for you? Is it your skincare routine? Is it how you eat during the week? Is it how you keep your kitchen clean or how you do a load of laundry every single day so that it doesn't pile up so that you don't have to deal with it when it gets overwhelming? Discipline gets us to the point in our lives where we see an opportunity where we can build more happiness or build more of an easy way in our lives to make things more manageable. And it's not something negative. It's actually more of like if you lost power right now and you turn a candle on or you turn a lantern or a flashlight, that is what that discipline is. That discipline is the light that brings light into your darkness, let's say. Discipline is also what's separating us from the next thing that we want to do or accomplish. Maybe it's, I finally need to sit down and find a therapist. It's time. Or I need to get back into working out because I want to get in a consistent routine so it's not like I'm falling off and falling on again. I want to not completely cut carbs out of my diet because it makes me feel miserable. And also, like, when I do reintroduce carbs, it also makes me feel miserable because physically my body is exhausted from not having carbs, but also I feel almost a negative view about carbs. I want to be able to have the discipline to say, you know what? I had this amount of carbs today. I'm going to save this for tomorrow. Or, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. I can always eat it later, XYZ. Or maybe your discipline is, instead of you saying, I'm going to work 15 hours today to catch up on the work that I missed yesterday, it's from the beginning of yesterday, you doing what you need to do so that you work your regular 8 hours on both days. And instead of scrolling on your phone and getting distracted and overbearing yourself, you having the discipline to say, you know what, I'm going to put my phone down for the next 45 minutes and I'm going to get this one thing knocked out because I'm going to spend more time convincing myself that I need to get it done than I am actually doing what I need to get done. And that way I'll have that discipline. And also you build your self-respect. Because when you have discipline, you are telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to do this. And your brain hears, okay, we're going to do this. And when you do it and you stay on top of it and you stay consistent, your brain doesn't say, yeah, okay, yeah, right. It says, yep, that's exactly what we're doing. And it becomes a part of you. It becomes a habit. Listen, if you've got it all together and you're saying to me, I'm perfect in everything that I have in my life, I'm exactly where I want to be, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, I want you to shoot me an email or reach out to me on Instagram, on You the Boss Pod, and I want us to talk because I want to know what you're doing and I want to know how you got there. But for the rest of the 99% of us that are working and building businesses and investing and putting our passions to work, discipline is not a bad word. You're already involved in discipline. If you brushed your teeth at the time of you listening to this, if you brushed your teeth and you took a shower today, you have discipline. If you worked today in whatever fashion to make money and you're going to do it again tomorrow and you did it yesterday, you have discipline. Yes, discipline does involve sacrifice at some point. I'm not going to say, unfortunately, I'm not going to say I'm sorry. You know, discipline is almost synonymous to work. But it's also synonymous to habit and it's also synonymous to success. I haven't met a single person that has been sustainably successful in any arena that over a certain amount of time was not disciplined in their craft. So if you're a dancer, I have no idea, other than dancing Spanish music, I have no idea what it involves going to school for dance. But I imagine that the technique for different dances, I imagine you have to have discipline to make sure you learn them and that you're good at them so that you get through your classes. If you're a doctor, more specific, a surgeon, I know that you have to sterilize your hands before you go into the operating room. And I know that you have to have the discipline to make sure that you wash your hands and that you sanitize in the appropriate way or you cannot operate. Discipline does require work. I'm going to say that right out the door. Let's remove the social media or the microwave mindset that, oh, you don't need discipline. You can just follow these 8 steps and you can grow your Instagram followers to 20,000 overnight. I'm sorry, that's not what this is. And, you know, I hope that you continue listening. But if you're here to get more for your mindset, if you're here to boss up, understand that you are literally seconds away, a hairline away from changing your life based on one form of discipline. So this week, I want you to think about an area that you're unsatisfied with in your life. Not something that makes you absolutely miserable. I'm talking like, I'm not doing what I want to be doing. And I know that if you're a millennial, this is exactly how you feel right now, because we're all in that turn of our lives. But for you to live your best fulfilled life abundantly, you need to take this place in your life that you're unsatisfied with and find out what you need to do to improve it. Even if it's a 1% improvement, find out what you need to do, what you need to do with your mindset, what you need to do in your craft to change it, and then come up with a plan to do that. Listen, you don't have to. It's just something that I think would be fun. But for this week, do that. Find someone that's done what it is that you want to do, that's conquered what it is that you want to conquer. I'm going to stop you right here. Oh, but Pam, there isn't someone like me in that arena. There isn't someone like me that has done what it is that I want to do. That's great. Take notes out of the pages of people that have done similar things to what you want to do. Create a list of disciplines. I probably just made that word up. Create a list of things that you can make into your discipline routine. And you become the person. You become the person that you're looking for. You become the face of that. The point is, all variables aside, all the things that you can't control, take those out of the picture. Take the things that you can control and the things that are on you, that are on your personal discipline. And decide to boss up. Decide to level up. Decide to take it to a next level. Decide to challenge yourself to say, I'm including this as part of my discipline going forward. In the way that I brush my teeth in the morning and I take a shower at least once a day and I do my hair at least once a day, this is my part of my discipline. It is like breathing for me because this is what I want to accomplish. This is where I want my life to go. I want to leave you guys with this statement. Discipline isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. If success or attainment or the conquering of whatever is astronomical to you, that one peak of a mountain, if that was easy to get there, everyone would be breaking records every single day. Everyone would be the number one, insert whatever that is for you. But the thing is, again, all variables aside, your fears and your failures will keep you back only if your discipline and you together allow them to. Thank you for listening. Come back again next week for another episode of You the Boss podcast.